Welcome to the real, the free. It's authentically Amy, come talk with me. Love, sex, truth, no shame inside. We're getting deep, and it feels so right.
Hey sexy besties, welcome back to Authentically Amy. I'm Amy, a certified sex and relationship coach, and here's another part of our series called Wild Nights and Wise Insights, where I share with you some stories from my past or my friend's past, and we talk about lessons learned. So this one's a doozy. It's got a lot of stories in one, but I promise the takeaway will make more sense. But essentially, when I was younger, as someone who I really like adventure, I need maybe not an adrenaline junkie. I don't like to jump out of airplanes, but I do like a little bit of adventure excitement. And so from the time I was a young adult until now, I still do enjoy participating in intimate activities in unusual or unorthodox locations. I think it's fun. I know I'm not alone. I know there's lots of you watching. And again, that's the point of this series, right? Is we are trying to normalize all the things. Whatever you're into, it's healthy, it's normal. Live your truth, right? And I know a lot of people out here are the same as me. It's fun. Having sex in interesting places is fun. And if it's not fun to you, that's okay too. I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum. So anyway, I've always been a fan. So some of the places, I don't think I can give a comprehensive list, but I'll give a few snippets. So once, I think I was about 18, and I was actually on a trip with my mom. I'm so sorry, Mom, that you have to learn about it this way, but she's cool. She'll be all right. So we were on a mother-daughter trip to New York, and I had met this guy. I think I met him on a cruise before. I don't know. And I think it was a high school graduation trip. I was 18. The point is, whatever. So Mom was like, you can go out and do whatever you want with your friends in the city. I'm like, yay. So I hung out with this guy, we went out, but of course, I'm sharing a hotel room with my mom. So and he lived in he didn't live in Manhattan. He lived somewhere in one of the other boroughs, and I was not taking a subway to this man's house at 2 a.m, not happening. So we're where are we gonna hook up? So the hotel my mom and I were staying at was actually right across the street from Central Park. So being the 18-year-old underdeveloped brain that I was at the time, thought, oh, we'll just go in Central Park. Now, in any scenario, this is a dumb idea. In hindsight, I am glad I did not get stabbed or robbed or anything worse, because literally having sex in the middle of a park just sounds like a really good way to be vulnerable and have something bad happen to you. But luckily nothing bad happened. Okay, so also having sex in Central Park sounds really cool until you're doing it and you're on the grass and you're this actually isn't that fun at all, but it was still fun. So Central Park, New York, check that one off the list. Another time, the beach. Now I know anyone who's watching this who's also from Florida, chances are you probably had sex on a beach somewhere at some point. I've done it a few times. Hookup, sex, whatever, different things. But this particular time was interesting and notable because we were doing what we were doing, having a great time, and just look up, happen to look to the side, and there's just a man standing there watching intently. Just literally just standing over us, watching. Doesn't say a word, isn't doing anything, just watching, 3 feet away. So we're what's happening? So anyway, kind of told him to go away. Kind of a mood killer though, to have someone just randomly standing over you, creepily watching you. So that happened. Not my favorite beach experience, but makes for a great story. Bathrooms. There have been too many bathrooms. This one, I'm not proud of this one. Bathrooms, oh God, I don't know. People's houses bathrooms, for sure. Public places bathrooms, for sure. But the worst one, it was a porta potty. Now, to be fair, it was just making out and heavy petting, but still, in a porta potty, gross. 22-year-old me had no sense. To also be fair, it was St. Patty's Day, and everyone knows that things happen on St. Patty's Day. Sometimes you just can't control it. It's the luck of the Irish. You get lucky with the luck of the Irish. I don't know. But not my favorite experience. But again, YOLO. All right, let's see. Where else? Oh, definitely a movie theater. That one's happened. Not during a movie though. So that's pretty innocent actually. It was just a cruise ship movie theater. So that's normal. Oh, there was one time on a cruise ships have a lot of good stories. So just so you know, back in the day, they didn't lock everything on cruise ships and you could just sneak in places. So one time, this is when I was a teenager, snuck into the spa on the cruise ship and no security, no one ever came, and I'm sure there's cameras and stuff, but anyway, that was an interesting one. Cruise ships were Cruise ships have a lot of good locations. Yeah. Oh, one time in the disco at the cruise ship, like while people were just dancing to the side, like, I don't know, these things. Anyway, all of this is to say, if you're like and also cars. I forgot about cars. How could you forget about cars? Like cars everywhere, cars, all the places parked. Only once while the car was moving, I think. A lot of times parked. But all of this is to say, look, if you're someone who like fantasizes about this, it's normal. You're not alone. Probably most of the people listening to this, like, think some of these sound fun. Some people are going to think it sounds absolutely batshit insane, and that's fine. Like, if it's not for you, leave it. But if it is for you, give it a try. You might like it, you might not. Sometimes it's grosser than you think it's going to be, like a porta potty. But in any event, like, so what are the lessons to take away from this, right? Other than explore it if you're feeling it in your heart. There's intimacy without sex, and there's sex without intimacy. So you can have fun sexual experiences with people that maybe aren't your long-term partner. Like, that is okay, that is allowable, that is a thing to have fun and explore, and it's adventurous. You can have these adventurous experiences, and maybe, look, in those situations, in those places, you're not likely to have like necessarily the most satisfying experience, right? Like, if you're someone, like most 80% of women, who maybe don't experience orgasm from penetration alone or whatever, manual stimulation, like, there's situations where maybe you're not going to experience orgasm in those situations because it's awkward. Again, like if you're in a porta potty, like whatever, but there's still something that can be taken away and be positive. So there's still, like, in that experience, you're getting like some other need met. Maybe the need for like adventure, maybe the need for a good story, maybe just the need for novelty. And even though it might not be set up the same way to like have you feel the full extent of sexual pleasure, there's still something that you can take away from those experiences. Now, the flip side of that is when you have a partner who you are more intimate with and have like real intimacy and connection, of course, the overall experience is probably going to be better, whether you're in one of those locations or at home, right? But my point is, sometimes like these random experiences, like, yeah, it's maybe not as satisfying, but there's still something else you can get from it. So I think also the other takeaway is that like bad sex or like sex in a weird place, like anything where there's just like something that's not like 100%, one, it's great to be able to laugh about these things and laugh at yourself. But two, it's like, it teaches you what you really like. It teaches you that like what things really are important to you and what things aren't. Like, so for me, I know that like there will be no future porta potties. Like, I did not like that. I don't want that. It's not happening again. Probably no future like parks in the middle of the night. I don't feel safe about that anymore, but the beach, I don't know. As long as no people stand over us, I feel like I could maybe do that. I don't know. But you find out what you like and what you don't like. So with that, if you're interested in more of this content, like, subscribe, follow, do all the things, and I'll see you next time, 60 besties.